The man suddenly realized that the woman in a vegetative state in front of him might be faking her coma, and that she could very well be a killer, because just the night before, a person named Casey was killed. As the killer fled the scene, a neighbor happened to see her face. Based on the neighbor's description, the police quickly identified a suspect. Yet that suspect had been lying unconscious in a hospital bed for 3 days. Sherlock suspected that Yvette was pretending to be comatose. He had smelled women's perfume on her, and it was the exact same scent found at the crime scene. Sherlock even shouted at her to provoke a reaction. Then he began looking around for a long needle, planning to stab it into the woman's thigh, where the nerves are most concentrated. But Watson couldn't stand it anymore. She conducted a simple test. Watson lifted the woman's right hand. When she let go, the hand fell and slapped her own face. That was a normal reflex commonly seen in comatose patients. And the woman's pupils also reacted like those of someone truly unconscious. Just as the case hit a dead end, Sherlock received a message. It made everything click instantly. It turned out that Yvette had a twin sister named Rebecca. At first, Sherlock assumed that since they were twins, the neighbor might have mistaken one for the other. But when Sherlock and Watson met Rebecca, they immediately ruled that out, because the sisters' facial features were completely different. Just as Sherlock was unsure how to move forward, Detective Inspector Thomas called. Another murder had occurred in an apartment. The victim was named Anna. The method of the crime was identical to the first case, and once again, Sherlock smelled that same women's perfume. Further investigation revealed that Cassie and Anna were half-siblings with the same father. Strangely enough, neither of them knew who their biological father was while they were alive. Later, Belle brought in new information. Weeks before her death, Anna had filed a police report, claiming that someone had been stalking her. But when Grayson looked at the photo, he realized the stalker was his former colleague, Mike. When they finally met Mike, they learned that after retiring, he had become a private investigator. He had been following Anna under instructions from Rebecca, and the moment Mike presented his investigation files, all the mysteries finally fell into place. It turned out that Cassie and Anna's father was a well-known business tycoon. He had died several months earlier, and he had left behind a fortune worth billions. Rebecca and Yvette's father was that same businessman. Even more coincidentally, before his death, he had told Yvette and Rebecca that he had 2 illegitimate children. Rebecca had indeed investigated those illegitimate children. She was worried the inheritance would be divided, but she insisted she had never killed anyone, and surveillance footage from her residential complex showed that she was at home at the time of the murders. She had no opportunity to commit the crimes. Sherlock froze for a moment, but soon, he came up with a plan to draw out the real killer. While both sisters were in the hospital, Sherlock suddenly burst into the ward. In front of everyone, he announced that there was a 3rd illegitimate child.
I know all about the 3rd pretermitted heir.
What?
Daddy's 3rd bastard. I figured out who she is. Mary Margaret Phelps, 8033 West Tremont, Morris Heights. Don't pretend like you don't already know. You're not that good an actress.
Oh! Back away.
When I couldn't talk you out of coming, I texted him.
Sherlock deliberately fabricated the existence of a 3rd heir, making the killer believe that another potential inheritor was still alive. Having already killed 2 heirs, the murderer would never let a 3rd one live. Sure enough, the following night, when the killer attempted to strike again, the police, who had already set a trap, caught her in the act, and the real murderer was Yvette, the woman who had been lying unconscious the entire time.